The Golden State Warriors are really getting into this whole Batman thing. Buddy Hield's now calling himself Alfred? We'll explain on today's show.
You are Locked On Warriors.
Stop trying to turn the page on us so fast.
Your daily Golden State Warriors podcast.
We got 4 championships.
Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Every team has a chance if Steph's on the team.
Your team every day.
Yo, what's the good word, everyone? Appreciate you spending some time with us wherever and whenever you're receiving this audio podcast. Thank you. Like, subscribe. It's free. It's available. YouTube and wherever you get your audio podcast. Appreciate you very much for joining us today. Our episode is brought to you by Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K. Turn any TV into your Xbox. No console needed. You head to amazon.com/FireLockedOnTV to learn more. We do have a free daily newsletter. It's sent to you at lockedondaily.com. Come join nearly 17,000 Golden State Warriors fans on YouTube. Get us to that number before the Golden State Warriors make this run to the Western Conference Finals. My name's Charlie Walter, formerly of 95.7. That is the flagship for the Golden State Warriors in the Bay Area. Also covered the team for CBS News Bay Area, call letters KPIX. Joining me, a reoccurring guest on this show. His name is Hudson Klauke, here to talk some NBA. We're going to go with the Batman. Where is he? Where's the detonator, Dent? We're going to talk about Alfred, who is now Buddy Hield, because Buddy Hield has dubbed himself as Alfred after a big game. We're going to talk about the physical Dubs, how they were able to hang around on the glass with Houston, not able to beat them in that department, but roughed them up a little bit and really were more physical defensively than in game 2. Are we feeling good about where the Warriors stand right now? We're going to get Hudson's perspective, and the Los Angeles Lakers are in trouble, down 3-1 to the Minnesota Timberwolves. How are we doing tonight, Hudson? Good to see you.
Hey, we had some good basketball today. We had some really good basketball. Hell of a Sunday. I'm doing good. How are we doing, Chuck?
I know that you're for whatever reason, you're big on the Pistons train right now. You've been taking them with the points the entire series, and apparently you were brutalized at the end there watching it.
He got hacked. He got hacked in the corner. They should have called it. Bickerstaff went absolutely ballistic. I was also going ballistic watching it. It was a travesty. What we saw was an absolute travesty. They got robbed. But, yeah, the Knicks look like they're going to steal this one, even though I said on this show last time, Pistons is a sneaky underdog. Doesn't look like it's going to happen.
They played him tough, though. Steph Curry, I guess at one point in his life he was an underdog, but he rose from the ashes, much like Bruce Wayne. He's been coined as Batman. We kind of talked about it all offseason on this show. It was the easy analogy to make. It's like, oh, he's the Batman. He's the superhero. Now you got to bring in a Robin, someone that can help bring the Golden State Warriors back to glory. And Jimmy Butler has heard it. He's ran with it. He's been calling himself Robin. He's been saying that Steph Curry, when you least expect it, falls off a building and knocks down a 32-footer. That's what he does. And he asked about it. He was asked, Curry was, on whether he's a fan of the Batman theme that's going on right now. And he said, it is what it is at this point. I just want to will our team to victory. But he was a fan of this Instagram that apparently Jimmy Butler made. And for those of you on the audio platform, this is why you got to also be subscribed to YouTube. It's the Steph Curry logo in the bat symbol. And the caption is, "Thanks, Batman and team, excluding Buddy." And we're going to get into Buddy in just a minute because he's Alfred. We'll talk about that. But first of all, Steph Curry was asked about that Instagram. And I guess the biggest takeaway point for me was that Jimmy Butler made that thing. He's a content man. I'm sure he has an assistant. I'm sure he could go up to any one of the numerous content people for the Golden State Warriors and they would do that for him. No, he went back to the hotel room after the game and slapped together a little Canva. You got to respect that.
He's one of those. He is a superstar. Let's not get it twisted. But he's very aware, like, this is Steph Curry's team. I mean, if this is anybody's team, it's Steph Curry's. He knows that. He knew the role he was coming into. He wanted to be in Golden State. And I think the news here is, like, what are we getting back when Jimmy Butler does return?
Curry goes for 36 on Saturday night. Kind of being slept on how good of a season Curry's had. And to start the year, like, he had some duds. He had some really good games early, and then there was a moment there around Christmas time where he just wasn't playing his best basketball, and the stats back it up. In November, averaged 23. It dropped down to 21 in December. It was 22 in January. He was playing all right, but nothing special. Since then, 30 points per game in his 11 February games, 23 in March. He's averaging 29 in his 8 April games. He's shooting 41% from three post All-Star game, averaging 26 points per game post All-Star game with a 30 usage rating. Curry, man, he doesn't stop. It's like death. It's taxes. It's Tom Izzo and in March, which doesn't even make any sense. They use that one from time to time. And it's Steph Curry. It's Steph Curry always, man. It does not make any sense how someone at that age is able to move like he can, as much as he can, and take the beating that he can, because he's been getting brutalized in this series by a physical, handsy Rockets team.
Oh, yeah. Chuck, he's like our size, and he's running around against guys that are 6'8", 250 pounds, and he's getting thrown around. They're trying to – the one way to, try to at least stop Steph Curry is just to get super physical with him, right? And we see the Rockets trying to do that. They're trying to get super physical with him. But at some point, it's like you would think that the wheels would fall off at 37 years old. I'm not sure this guy can't play till he's 45. When he shoots the ball like he does, and he's still got that quick release, it's damn near impossible to block. It's special. And every time I watch him and LeBron James, I'm like, soak it in, man. Like, this isn't normal. We're not going to see players like this moving forward. I don't know with what they're doing with technology, Chuck. Maybe we will. But this is something that's pretty crazy. I haven't seen it in the NBA in a very, very long time.
One of the other players that was really good in the game, Buddy Hield, 5 threes. He's calling himself Alfred. So we have Steph Curry as Batman. We have Robin, Jimmy Butler, and now we have the Butler, Batman, Bruce Wayne's right-hand man, Buddy Hield.
If you can just kind of speak to like how you got that spark, especially in the second half, to kind of wield you guys to that win tonight.
I know Robin was out tonight, so I had to step up. That was it. I had to be an Alfred tonight.
They are really buying into this bit, man. Is there a chance? We've seen Emo Jimmy in the past. Is there a chance that Jimmy can maybe convince Steph to, one game when they have the cameras on him and Draymond Green's walking in the green Riddler suit like he did back in 21-22, or Jimmy's walking in the fur coat like he did Saturday night's game? What are the chances maybe they just walk in full Batman and Robin suits? Buddy Hield's got a white wig.
I like the odds. I like the odds at -120, to be honest. And I just love Buddy Hield saying that he's Alfred, the literal butler. Like, he's self-aware. He knows his role. He's like, I'm not even going to claim. A lot of guys would be like, I'm Spider-Man or Superman. He's like, no, I'm the butler.
We're not changing universes.
Batman,
yeah,
Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got to love that, and they're having fun, man. And things are looking good. 2-1 going into Game 4. You steal one without Jimmy Butler. You got to feel pretty good. And we're talking about Buddy Hield, man. Gary Payton had 16. There was 40 plus points off the bench. You're going to take that every time, especially with Jimmy Butler out of the lineup.
We got more to get into. One of those players off the bench, Quentin Post, kind of was a ringleader down low for the Warriors in terms of physicality. Obviously, Draymond Green. The other one, we're going to pose the question, Rockets plus 290 to win this series on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Is there anything that makes you think that's a smart bet, Hudson? We're going to get into that. Anthony Edwards beating Los Angeles with 43 points. Thoughts on Clippers Nuggets? We got a lot more to get into when we return on Locked On Dubs.
Destroy Jimmy and Domino's. I know Jimmy drinks great wine.
Basketball and hockey playoffs are here, and there's no better time to turn your sports knowledge into real cash with Prize Picks, the top destination for daily fantasy action. Prize Picks makes it simple. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player projections, and you are in. You can even mix and match players across basketball, hockey, baseball, and more for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. What I'm playing this week, we're going to go with the Curry over. We're going to go with the Butler over. We'll go with the Dillon Brooks under. Match those things together, and you can do it in 60 seconds or less. There's an app. You got Taco Tuesday, which discounts things, a Flex Friday promo, so you can get even more value with your players. And when you win, you get paid fast, sometimes in as little as 15 minutes. So download the app today. Use code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Forget that. We champs. Why are you starting with that question? We got 4 championships.
Do want to have one more quick word on Alfred, Buddy Hield. The way he spaces the floor is just, I think, underappreciated at times because it doesn't always hit the threes. It does feel like, for whatever reason, Buddy, when he has the, not always, but there are moments where he has the ability to change momentum with a wide open three. And for whatever reason, he doesn't hit those. He's always hitting, tough shots at random times. But yesterday was one of those moments where he was hitting threes at the right time. Got a few buckets in transition, was just playing well in general, was Buddy Hield. The spacing, though, it's something that needs to be brought up because a lot of Warriors fans at a certain point were clamoring that Jonathan Kuminga needed to go in there. And why is Buddy Hield getting 15? Give those minutes to Kuminga. It doesn't make sense. But it's clear what Steve Kerr wants in an offense. And Steph Curry alluded to it after the game. Like, Buddy Hield just being on the floor is going to open things up for everyone else because you're not sagging off Buddy Hield. Like, it's the one thing he can do. In fact, Jimmy Butler doesn't even want him to dribble anymore. We saw the lip reading on the bench. He's like, Buddy, no more of that. Don't even dribble. Catch, shoot within the flow of the offense or look to pass it. No more dribbles. What do you think about this philosophy from Coach Butler on the bench, who was kind of getting into some of the guys on their tendencies?
Well, it's funny because this isn't even the first time that that Buddy Hield has been told not to dribble. I think it was like Tyrese Halliburton's dad was telling him, like, never dribble, do not dribble when he was at the Pacers. So he's been hearing this from a lot of different people, and they're right. They're right. The guy is a catch and shoot type of guy, maybe a one dribble step back. When he tries to create too much, it doesn't tend to work out. But from a spacing standpoint, man, like, I remember when, we were talking about this when they signed him, and it was like, hey, they lost Klay Thompson. Steve Kerr knows how to coach one way. He's had one of the best three-point shooting teams the last decade. So when you bring it, you got to bring in a guy like Buddy Hield. And the peaks and valleys, as Warriors fans know, in the Buddy Hield experience is something to behold because you'll watch him play for 48 minutes and go, I don't think I ever want to see that guy with a basketball even near him ever again. I'm done with it. And then you watch a game like this, and you're like, oh, this guy's amazing. So it's like you got to deal with the bad and the good with a Buddy Hield. And the nice thing is, if Jimmy Butler is playing, you don't necessarily need to play him 30 minutes. You can kind of test out the waters. Is he having a good shooting night? Is he playing the right way? Good IQ basketball. You can play him a little bit more. But it's just great to have a guy that's a 40% three-point shooter on his career in your arsenal if you're Steve Kerr.
Plus 290 for the Houston Rockets to win this series, with the Golden State Warriors up 2-1 entering Game 4 at Chase Center. Let's assume that Jimmy Butler is back Monday for the sake of the argument, considering he is trending towards coming back, it sounds like. Is there anything you have seen from the Houston Rockets schematically, from the way that they play, from maybe them just missing some close to the basket shots that were not a result of the Warriors' lack of length and not a result of Draymond Green's really good defense, and it was just them missing buckets? Or do you think that's not a smart bet at plus 290? This is the Golden State Warriors series to win. Lock it in.
Yeah, I think the only way. Yeah, I think the only way that you could responsibly bet plus 290 is if you think that Jimmy Butler's coming back at 50%. Because I think if they're firing all cylinders, I think it's the Warriors series to lose. Nothing that I've seen tells me that the Rockets will be able to get back into this. The one thing with the Rockets is one of my favorite regular season teams to bet on because they're super young and they never quit. So I do not think that, the Warriors are going to win the next 2 games and wrap this thing up in 5 because the Rockets are going to fight. But the length and the defense that the Warriors have put up, I mean, it's been very, very difficult. And, if you just turn on the TV for 2 possessions, you're like, it's going to be hard for the Rockets to score the basketball. And I don't really see that happening. But, you could have a Jalen Green where he goes off. He's just hitting every shot, things like that. But Listen, I love value bets, Chuck. You know that. I can't bring myself to take the Rockets. I just can't.
Yeah, and I mean, the Warriors defense is slept on a little bit, considering it's the number one defense since Jimmy Butler's joined the fold. But even without Butler in the game, it was damn good. Like Houston was fighting for everything. Even the shots close to the rim typically were contested. And they really baited Houston into doing things they weren't comfortable with, taking tough shots, a lot of Fred VanVleet deep threes, a lot of Jalen Green threes. And it worked pretty well in this case as the Warriors get ready for game 4 in San Francisco. Let's talk a little Anthony Edwards, 43 points he puts up in the game. Luka had 38. LeBron, 27, 12, and 8. Not enough as the Timberwolves defeat the Lakers 116-113. Remember, Warriors, if they were to advance, would get the winner of the series, and it's Minnesota right now who is up 2 games 2-1. Let's break it down coming up on Locked On Warriors.
Destroy Jimmy and Domino's. I know Jimmy drinks great wine.
It's a great time to be betting on FanDuel with the NBA and NHL players going on at the same time. And FanDuel is giving new customers an incredible way to get in on the action at America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, when you join FanDuel and you place your first $5 bet, you will get $250 in bonus bets instantly if your bet wins. I love how FanDuel makes betting so easy, whether it's picking your favorite team, whether it's player props, whether it's just hitting the old over-under. Have some fun. From three-pointers to steals to assists, FanDuel has so many different ways to hit up player props. Plus, after the game tips off, you can go with live prop bets, and you can same-game parlay them for a chance to win big. What can't you do on FanDuel? It's FanDuel.com. Claim your $250 in bonus bets today.
Forget that. We champs. Why are you starting with that question? We got 4 championships.
Got a little bit of a shocker right now in the opening round of the Western Conference playoffs. The 6-seeded Minnesota Timberwolves, who felt like a play-in team for a large majority of the season and then just got red hot to end it, along with the Clippers, along with the Warriors, along with pretty much everyone. But they've stayed red hot entering the playoffs. They're up 3-1 on the Lakers, taking them down 116-113. Timely buckets from players like Julius Randle and Naz Reid had a huge fourth quarter. Dante DiVincenzo had a big bucket in the game, but it was Anthony Edwards who stole the show. He had 43 to lead the way. Randle with 25. McDaniels with 16. The length of Minnesota is affecting Los Angeles, man. This is where Los Angeles could have used Anthony Davis. And granted, Doncic had 38, but I mean, Randle's huge. Jaden McDaniels is sneaky, like 6'9". Rudy Gobert is a massive human being. Edwards, a pretty sizable shooting guard. You got Naz Reid, who's a 7-foot shooter off the bench. I mean, Minnesota's huge, man. And they're not deep, but they played Anthony Edwards 44 minutes and Julius Randle 43. So they needed this game bad today, and they got it at home to go up 3-1.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't love Minnesota's chances coming into this. Like I said, with Luka and LeBron James, I thought that's going to be a tough matchup, and the Lakers needed this one bad, and they were fighting for it. And hell, yeah, you had 38 from Luka, 28 from LeBron. LeBron only had 9 attempts, which is insane to me. That's got to be one of his lowest attempt rates in a long time. But the size, losing Anthony Davis is obviously a massive loss. But they weren't able to fill with a serviceable big. I mean, Jackson Hayes, our guy, Moeller guy. It's where Chuck went to high school, for those who don't know. He's not.
McBride,
he
too.
can't play.
Ken Griffey Jr.
He can't play in this series. Yeah, Moeller's got a long list. Let's not rub it in, man. But yeah, Jackson Hayes has been, virtually unplayable in this series. And they're playing, Dorian Finney-Smith, tons of minutes. They're super small. And the Timberwolves have just been bullying them and outlasting them. And I thought this would go 7, but now it's starting to look like hell. I mean, if they got any, step on the throat type of mentality, which I think we all know Anthony Edwards does, we could see this thing end in 5.
We could see this thing end in 5. And that's crazy to say, but here's what it comes down to, man. That Mark Williams trade that never was is like the difference. If they had Mark Williams, like that may be the missing link, right? Like that's all it took for the Lakers. And in order to get Luka, they had to get rid of Anthony. And that definitely gave the Warriors a little edge. I mean, we saw it the last time they had played the Lakers. So if the Lakers are to sneak it out in 7 games and the Warriors are waiting, you feel better than you would have with Anthony Davis, despite Luka being one of the best players in basketball. It just, changes the way that they're able to affect you inside. I mean, Hachimura, he's around the perimeter a good bit. He's a big body. Jackson Hayes, I mean, they just don't have enough, man. Like, it takes some big bodies down low to get it done typically.
Well, and you got to do something. And JJ Redick, as we all know, very, very smart basketball mind. I assume he's going to do something to try to at least minimize Anthony Edwards getting to the rim at will. I mean, the guy he couldn't be stopped, and they got no rim protection. Like I said, with Jackson Hayes out, not really even a rim protector as it is when he plays. I don't know if that means Jared Vanderbilt is playing a lot more minutes or something. That they don't have a lot of guys when you go down. Maybe we get a Bronny James appearance. Maybe he has to come in here to change
bodies.
Things up.
Yeah.
But they got to do something. They got to try to put something together to where Anthony Edwards can't put up 43 points. Let somebody else beat you. Let Julius Randle shoot those fadeaway threes like he did for so many years for the Knicks. Like, you got to give the ball to somebody else, get it out of Anthony Edwards' hands. How do you do it? I don't know. JJ Redick's paid the big bucks to figure it out.
Look, dude, I liked all these hot teams coming in because think about it. Who were the losers right before the season ended? It was the Rockets losing like 3 or 4 straight because they rested everyone. Not that had anything to do with me picking the Warriors, but it was the Lakers who kind of stumbled into the playoffs. It was the Nuggets who stumbled into the playoffs a little bit. And all these teams right now are being tested by the squads that kind of finished the season strong. Minnesota, Los Angeles Clippers, Golden State Warriors, all potential underdogs that could advance in the series. Let's give you a minute on the Clippers Nuggets series. That's 2-2. Seems like it's going to go 7. I said Clippers from the start. I still think the Clippers had a chance to take this thing already. They've been in every single game. What are your thoughts on that series?
I'm with you, man. I wish I could, play devil's advocate right now, but I like the Clippers, and it really comes down to, Jokic, he's going to have to go above and beyond his, 30-point, 10-point, 10 rebound, 10 assist season average. He's going to have to go beyond that, and he did that the other night. So the Clippers are a more rounded team, and if you look up and down the Nuggets lineup, like Michael Porter Jr. the other night was like, I'm about 25% healthy. I've never heard a player say that in my life. Like, usually they just claim they're healthy. They're like, oh, I'm about like 95. He's like, I think I'm 20 to 30% healthy, maybe at best. And then he came out and started knocking down threes. So you never know what you're going to get. But Russell Westbrook's out right now. They don't have a lot of guys. Like, there's no depth on that team. It's got to be Jokic and Jamal Murray against the world. I think the Clippers are more suited to win this series, but I could easily see this thing going 7. You got the best player on planet Earth in Nikola Jokic and James Harden. Those guys, they're good, man. That's like I think that's the second best team in the West, personally, right now, behind the Oklahoma City Thunder.
They're damn good, man. And that storyline would be awesome because remember, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, originally a Clipper, and the Paul George deal, and that would be kind of the fruits of their labor, I guess, the bearings and some of their mistakes that somehow haven't really bit the Clippers whatsoever because they're still here, even though it felt like before the season they were a trendy pick to kind of go the Suns route. They have not gone that route at all. I agree, man. They're dangerous. That Thunder series would be awesome. And it's good that the Warriors avoid those two teams because I'd much rather see Golden State take on the Lakers if they got there, or Minnesota. They're big, they're physical. Warriors played them pretty well during the season. Bring them on. Anthony Edwards, bring them on. That would be a hell of a second round if we can get there. Good stuff. This is Locked On Warriors. It's the Dubs, and it is the Rockets from Chase Center Monday night. Have a good one, everyone. Peace.